I see colors with music. I feel like a vibrant color is yellow. The reason why I like yellow so much is a 432 hertz. Everybody can make a song, but it's how you place the voice. It's going to give you the maximum healing.
A good friend says that he can smell people who are untrustworthy. So like he'll give you a hug and he knows if you're trustworthy.
You can see people that are dark and their music be dark.
I've done a lot of work with electrodes on people's brains, measuring what are the spiritual states, what brings it out. And one of the things that we know brings it out is music. What are the frequencies that matter in music to really put people there?
You're listening to The Human Upgrade with Dave Asprey.
This is a special live episode recorded at the Eudaimonia Conference in West Palm Beach. And our guest today is Timbaland, who's a force in the music industry. And he shaped a lot of modern hip hop and pop and a lot of other things. And we're talking just a few people like Jay-Z, Beyonce, Nelly Furtado, One Republic, Madonna, Michael Jackson. So a huge, huge impact on the business. But the reason Timbaland is on today is that he's also gone through a massive health shift. And we're going to talk about creativity and health and performance with someone who's already been a high performer and is now even higher performing. Timbaland, it's an honor to have you.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you for having me.
How do you keep your energy up? You're flying all over the place. You work with bright people. You're up late at night in studios. How do you just not get tired?
I mean, you get tired. There's no such thing like you not get tired. I mean, I think it's just what keeps people up, I believe, is passion. You gotta love what you do. And if you don't love what you do, you won't stay up. But if you love what you're doing, energy is just there because it's natural. You're not forcing it. You know, it's what God, it's your purpose in life.
I've seen real passionate people burn out real hard, including me.
Yeah, because it's so overwhelming, so exciting, right? But like anything, you know, you get so excited, you crash and burn. So you have to keep a balance to your excitement and your purpose and your drive. I feel like it took me a minute because I, you know, crash and burn a lot of times. And sometimes that excitement, you have to harness that and like keep it just when, you know, it's always like to sing the song Kendrick Lamar, Be Humble, Sit Down. And you have to do that with your passion. You have to be humble, sit down and harness and just not go egregiously, just go crazy with it. You have to just balance it as much as you can.
How do you know when you're about to hit the wall, right? Where you're using your passion, doing something you love, and you realize you don't have much gas left in the tank?
You know, you don't really know when you're gonna hit the wall. You just hit the wall and keep going.
So you go right through it?
Yeah, you just go through it. You know, you hit the wall and you don't realize that you hit the wall until you go back and you solve that problem that made you hit the wall. You'd be like, did I just hit that wall? You know what I'm saying? But the passion is so strong, you just go through the wall.
Do you have dreams about music that then becomes real?
I have dreams about my life in general. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like pursuing your career and your passion, you have to have dreams. You have to say, man, when I get this, I'm gonna do this, or when this and that. But I think my dreams have been redirected. It's more about getting to the promise, seeing the promised land. I already know it's there. So I dream more about just being in it. When I was younger, I used to dream, you know, I want this, I see this and see that and see that. Now the dreams are more like manifestations, visions. I need to do this, I need to do that. Like if I have a dream, I immediately can remember what I need to do when it comes to music. Before it used to be scattered. I had this idea, I'm like, man, I forgot. But now it's more like God gives me visions through my dreams now. And it's like, I look at my dreams as when I think I'm not gonna make it through, the dreams that gives me hope that I'm gonna push past it. So the dreams is confirmation that there's just a hurdle. This storm too shall pass.
Do you wake up and write them down? Do you record them on a phone, or do they just stick?
They just stick. Lately, they've just been sticking.
Nice.
And I feel like that's when I think that's when you kind of become in line with your purpose. When things start to stick and start to manifest itself to you, And it's kind of like a testament to who you are. Like, okay, all this that I'm trying to balance is coming into play because now I have more clarity.
When you speak, you have a real calm, grounded, centered, just energy to you. Your voice resonates that way. Was it always like that?
No, I think it was a ball of confusion before. Just because of just how your life is. If your life is confusion, your words come out confusion. And I believe that my life, great talent, great gift, but that still didn't describe my life, you know? So it was like, it was a little confusing. I think now when I speak, before I couldn't listen to myself. Now, out of all these years, I can listen to myself. Because I couldn't listen to myself before because I thought it was just bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't connecting the dots. It was just rambling on. And when I look back at it, I can understand the rambling on, and I know what caused the rambling on.
Well, what caused it?
I mean, there's drugs addiction. When you look back at it, you know, when you be like an opioid addiction, it really like, it's almost like you're not yourself.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're somebody else. It gives you a sense of entitled, more narcissistic. Because I feel like you have to be an entrepreneur. You got to be a little narcissistic. You got to be delusional. Because if you're not going to make it, right? That's just what it is. So people, if you don't like narcissistic people, then you're not an entrepreneur. I'm just going to keep it 100. Like,
you got to believe enough.
You have to, it just comes with a balance. You got to just accept it, and you got to believe in the drive. But there's an overload, and becomes dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like at the early stages of my life, I was endangering me and people around me. But fix that.
What was the moment when you went from addiction to deciding to evolve?
Really, and you know, to tell the stories, you know, a lot of people when they deal with addiction, I dealt with it with just me and God, like really just prayer. No human, nobody told me. It was just me and God walking me through every step of the way. Wow. And knowing that I was going to have to go through a crushing place to rebuild, but I kept hearing the voice, I got you through this. You'll be all right. You don't got to go to no doctor. You don't got to go take Suboxone. You don't have to take none of these. You're just going to have to bear with me and go through this journey. I'm going to wing you off. And you know, a lot of people couldn't probably do what I've done is like taking 180 milligrams a day to backing down to taking 0. Is people ask me like, how do you do that? You know?
That's a lot. It's just this physical withdrawal from that. And you just sat through it.
It just, God weaned me through it, like a piece here, go through the withdrawal. And when I think I can't handle it, it just fades away.
Wow.
It starts to like calm down certain things. Then I'm like, oh, wow. You know, when I'm thinking I'm gonna have to call somebody or go to the hospital or do these things, nah. And, wow. And the powerful thing about it as going through that journey is like I never relapsed. Never thought about it once. Never went back. You could put it in front of me. I knew it was a good time. I knew some of the stuff. I could tell people it's a crazy feeling. It's an awesome feeling, but it ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's not. The goal got to be greater than the moment.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So the goal should always be healthy. Always have your right mind, but don't let pressures of the world get the best of you. So you create a moment that's not even a moment. It's a false moment. So when I think back at it, it's just more of the journey that I'm so happy that people, when they ask me, they said, well, how was it? Who helped you? Who did? Nah, like I didn't. I really just went to God in prayer, you know, and that really assists me through that journey because I was addicted for like about over 5-6 years taking. I should be dead.
Wow.
You know, personally, you know, but.
Did you always hear the voice of God and not listen, or did he start talking to you at some certain point?
I think that was the time where I heard it more clear.
Mm.
You know, it's almost like, I felt like I was like Job, like always a servant, but God had a hedge around me, so I couldn't be destroyed. But I could see all the torments of the world and do all the things. But I always had a strong will and a mindset. And once, you know, I had these visions of death and certain things. You know, I got kids, so, you know, you want to see your kids grow, and my will is strong. My mindset, you know, to be a producer, to be in this music game, you gotta be a strong person. So me beating addiction just lets me know that I'm Thanos, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people it's hard to shake. And it's like when people ask me, well, how can you help somebody? You can't help nobody that don't want to help themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you want the help, it's going to be hard, but you got to want it. You have to want it. If you don't want it, it's kind of like you you killing yourself.
You'll just relapse over and over until you really want it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I thank God that never happened to me. You know, that never, because I didn't enjoy it for those. I understand, like, God took me through a journey. Like, do you understand why you was taking it? So once you understand why you were taking it, you have no reason to go back. You know what I'm saying? Once you, it's like going to schools. Like, I went through a whole process that I don't think a rehab couldn't teach me. You know, it's like, okay, let's identify why, as I'm going through the withdrawal, why I'm on this. Is it because of these problems? Is it because of this? Is it because of that? And I'm like, yeah, because when those problems went away, it was like, I realized that I didn't need to escape. It was like a false reality. So it was like just going through the lessons of understanding why and how and where. You know, like all these places, and once you understand that and it's presented to you in another way, it's kind of like you got to go through a lot of steps, I think, to beat addiction, you know. And I think I went through the school of hard knocks. I'm an advocate for people that have addiction problems, but I can look in their eyes now and be like, I can help you, but from your eye contact, you don't you want to help yourself.
Wow.
I can see that from a person. I'm like, yeah, he's not there yet.
Wow.
But I can just keep encouraging him along the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, at just certain symptoms that an addict know another addict. You know, so I just keep it at 100. So you just know. You be like, he still love it. You know?
Do you feel like a need to help people who aren't ready yet? Or are you just at peace to say, you know, when you're ready, I'm here?
Yeah, it's like, you know, you got to have patience. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I realized, because I never asked nobody, you know, I went through it. God gave me, you know, he was very patient with me, very, you know, understanding. So I feel like I have to be the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I can't let you drain me too.
Right.
Because, you know, you got to be careful what wars you take on. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it, you know, that spirit can hop back on you again. And that those same energies will come to you again. So I just be very mindful of, you know, just try to be there for most people. But you gotta know the fire to know what you're playing with.
Yeah, fighting with everything is really not a good
like
strategy.
Somebody who's never done drugs and trying to help. Oh, my cousin, you're gonna make him kill himself. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes somebody with experience to, you gotta keep talking to them and say, do you feel like, and they'd be like, yo, you know, it's one of those yo moments, you know, like, I had the same, I couldn't believe, I couldn't. And then that's how you break through. And once you get a small breakthrough through a person, you gotta hit them with a story that they might feel embarrassed to tell, and then you tell it, that you went through. Then they'd be like, for real? That's how I got cool with a lot of people. I think I went on the Tamron Hall show, this guy named Daniel Patrick, he wrote a book. and we was talking about our addiction, and he was explaining his stuff. I was like, yeah, that happened to you? Yeah, in the bathroom, I couldn't. So it's like, you have to talk from experience to reach a person that's in that dark place.
There's another experience that you and I both had that isn't nearly as dark, but is pretty dark, and it's being
Real part of the darkness.
being real fat.
Yeah.
And I lost 100 pounds. You lost 130. And I found that when I'm talking with people who are obese, it's a similar conversation. I don't think it's the same depth when we're talking about other kinds of addiction. Some of those people are emotionally addicted to food, and a lot of times your metabolism isn't working.
Yes.
But when I talk with people who've been through real serious addiction, who also do weight loss, it feels like they have a much better result. Like their cravings are less because their body works. Do you find a change just now that you're much healthier?
It's funny you say that, because I definitely feel a big change. But the thing I always be wondering is, I can see in the mirror what I look like, but I wish I could see what I look like inside. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the more key, because we wake up in the morning not knowing. I mean, I guess it was kind of good, because if we did wake up knowing that we can see it in our inside, I think we probably would live, right? Because we'd be like, what? Oh no, this is red, that's green. So it's like, it's kind of like a gift and a curse. But now, because I feel good and I feel a certain way, I want to know why I feel this way. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what is triggering this, what is working, so I know how to keep maintaining this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think now I'm just more like super conscious on anything. Before it's like, oh, I got a headache. Now I'm like, uh-oh, my head hurting something. I got to go to the brain doctor. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm so, just like, the world has changed so much. The products that they're giving us, I don't feel like they're the right products. It's not from when I grew up.
Yeah.
I feel like tomatoes don't taste like tomatoes. I don't care how organic they tell us. I just feel like our soil is already contaminated.
Mm.
And so for me, it's like, okay, I can get the best products and the best things that is out there, but I don't fully trust it all the way. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, I'm in search of things that I can see, getting this weight off, and still on the process of the journey of keeping the weight off as you get older. I just like to have more knowledge and more information.
Do you hire people to do that? Do you study it yourself? Like, how do you know if the tomatoes are good?
Man, I try to do it myself. And the best, words can't really, and I think this goes with everything in life, words can't, you can look at a bunch of words and it's all about what your mind tells you, correct? So to me, it's about, if I see a plant and I eat it, I go by the feeling, like, oh no, this don't, but they say, this is all the science say. I'm telling you what my body say.
Good for you.
I'm telling you, I don't think this is organic. Like you said, yes, it is. We went, this is that. I'm telling you, it's not. So I try to go off of what my body, now your body could be different. I do this with my trainer, Phil. I'm like, I know it's because he's so like big on, and I love science. I love all of that. But I go off with the same way I do music, feeling.
Wow.
Everything revolves around what you feel. I can give you this whole speech, and what happens a lot of times, we get caught up into the words, but not knowing how we really feel. Don't tell me no words. Just give me a product. Let me call you. Let me tell you about it. Because the words are cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I try to make sure the reason why I'm Timbaland today is because if I learn music theory and all these ways they want me to do it and tell me about it, I wouldn't be here today. But I do stuff by feeling and what I know what feels good. Same way Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
He said Indian style, I can't play an instrument. I know my taste. I know what I am. I know my gift. And that's how I am. And I take that same thing that I apply to music, I take it with everyday life. Like, I know it works good for you, and I can look at you and you can say, but that don't work for me. This works for me.
So you make music with feeling, not thought, and maybe you ought to eat the same way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eat with feeling.
That's what I do for sure. And
We have to.
yeah. And
'Cause-
it's frustrating though, because if you're with a friend and your friend's eating something that works for them and you know it doesn't work for you, there's a lot of shame and a lot of, well, you got to eat that because it doesn't have this and all that sort of stuff. What do you say to people who try to tell you what to eat when you do that? Yes, me too.
Man, get out of here, man. Next. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I think common sense ain't too common.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we kind of get, that's what's wrong with the world right now. Everybody picking sides and sides. Like, some things just common sense now. Some things you got to just be smart now. Like, are you hurting? Yeah. Do we need this? Yeah. Okay, why you sitting here debating me on it? You just answered the question. But, okay, that but gonna have you still in the hole. I'm gonna be out there on the other side because I ain't say but. And a lot of people is a fear factor.
Yes.
We look at, they say you should, they say, who is they?
Yeah. The guy's selling it.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on, I'm telling you. You remember back in the day we was young, people said, try it. We got away from that. We selling you on why you should try it instead of try it.
Wow. That's profound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir.
It's funny. Little kids, they know.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then we teach them not to know.
Exactly. Is Kool-Aid still around?
I think so.
Exactly. But how long they been telling us it's bad, all the sugar? Okay, well, they still drinking it. I think, I think sugar, Kool-Aid's not bad. I think it was the sugar change. To me, it's like things in the earth just change. You know what I'm saying? I just think sometimes we overhype products and they go back in and change something that works and try to fix it. And I feel like they're not fixing it. I feel like they adding other things and tricking us to telling us, oh, this is bad for you, when it actually not. The thing they had in them was good for us. And it's like money. It's all a business, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I go off a feeling. Look, I like this powder because it felt good on my skin. Now, y'all don't want to change it and put this guap hormone, I don't know about, saying this is better. No, it's not. I've been using this since because at the end of the day, people, what are you trying to prevent? God has a time for everybody. We live to die. So it's like we can prevent certain things by going other routes and not doing things, but nothing is going to keep you here forever. So if something works and it feels good and it works for you, it might not work for your cousin. Everybody blood types and insides are different. We just don't know. So we have a sense of what we think could work, but I think we should tell people, try it.
I've been working in the longevity space for about 20 years now. Like, how do we meaningfully extend the length of our life and the quality? And I see we've already added about 6.5 years to what we can do. And I think we're just getting started. Would you say that you're into longevity?
I'm into definitely longevity, but a balanced longevity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know my knees if they're getting bad, like I want to sustain them, but I can't stop them from getting bad, but I can make sure that they preserve the time that they don't get bad. So I'm all about longevity.
Beautiful. Let's go back to some of the more spiritual stuff. What's the difference between meditation and prayer?
I think it's just terminologies,
They're about the same thing.
Yeah, I feel like however everybody might say meditation to them is how they that's their prayer. But to me, I think it's just all in the same family, me personally.
I've done a lot of work with electrodes on people's brains, measuring, what are the spiritual states, what brings it out. And one of the things that we know brings it out is music. Have you found certain frequencies, like 432 hertz or 120 beats a minute? Like, what are the frequencies that matter in music to really put people there?
Me, like I said, I'm doing a wellness series CD.
Yeah.
And I see music. I have this thing called synesthesia where I see colors with music.
Oh.
So I feel like a vibrant color is yellow. So my first series is the yellow album. And I started to get into outside of the colors. I was like, what is yellow? Yellow is kind of symbolism and a sound that I found. I didn't know this in theory. I just felt like yellow. I just found out the reason why I like yellow so much is a 432 hertz.
By the way, I didn't actually know that you were going to say 432 hertz.
Yeah, that's like the one. That's like, but everybody, it's like this. Like everybody can make a song in that, but it's how it's where you place. The chords are 432. Any chord, but it's how you place the chords.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, these are all 432 hertz chords, but somebody might play. Okay, let's play. No, put 3, 1, 1, 4. So it's like, huh? It's like you gotta play in that order. Play the third one first. Play the first one last, and it's going to give you the maximum healing. That it's like a video game. Like everybody can. How you get the maximum health.
I was watching the way you did that. Even when you're doing that, you were dropping right into your heart and seeing where it went.
Yeah, I could see it. I saw the piano. And I was like, oh, if you put this over there, somebody did not. When I do that in theory, they be like, "Well, that's super 432." Yeah, just what I'm saying. There's certain ones of I love that hertz. I love 4/4. 4/4. I love that. I love 11/11. And I'm just learning, like, to me, it's all about, I know that we put these hertz and all these signs to it. To me, it's about, do it feel good? Do you feel good? Okay, now let me tell you why you feel good. Okay, they say 430, they say this, they say that. But I really try to dive into, do you feel it? I don't want to give you all of these theories on why you should feel it. As soon as it plays, I want you to digest it, and then I give you information on it. Or you go look at it yourself and go look back at it and be like, no wonder Timbaland does this, because he plays it this, he does that at that, he does that. But if I went into it that way, it would kill what I do. It would kill my joy. It would kill what my gift God gave me. If you know what I'm saying? Some people can read it and see it, but I'm the guy to go in there and just do it.
So the real deep felt intuitive sense behind everything.
So anyway, I was just showing you, and you kind of probably hear music in your head, and you was like, and imagine what that 4 would be at the 1.
Do you have synesthesia?
Yeah.
You do? So synesthesia, for listeners, is when your senses are wired differently than most people. And that means you might hear a smell or see a sound, where for someone with a more normal wiring, it wouldn't go that way. So what synesthesia do you have? And obviously
I see color. That's why
you see colors as part of your hearing.
Yeah.
Any other ones?
Smell is real big. I'm real big on scents. Sense really like dictates the sound or how I'm gonna.
So you smell your music too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a gift.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm great with like colognes and perfume. I'm like, that smells like this chord. Yeah. Or that chord.
Smells like a chord.
Yeah. Music chord. I can't, Then, you can look at people and you can see people that are dark and their music be dark.
Yeah.
You can just see it. It's like you be like, that's dark. So when you hear the music, you're like, oh, okay.
Wow.
Makes sense.
A good friend with synesthesia says that he can smell people who are untrustworthy. So like he'll give you a hug and he knows if you're trustworthy because.
Oh, no, he's good.
Yeah.
He got that. He's an Avenger. Like, I like to meet him. We put our powers together. I'm like, I'm like, I don't know.
It's like, because you're not sure long.
He could be all right. And he's like, no, it's wrong. I'm like, no, I think we might should try. All right, let's balance this sin out.
I got to ask you a couple more pedestrian questions because everyone wants to know. All right, weight loss. Well, we've tried all kinds of stuff. What was the thing that worked for you?
Hard work.
Hard work.
I don't want somebody to tell me, at first, like, I remember this doctor saying, yo, we can do this, we can take this, take that. And I'm like, but what if I just put the work in? What would that take?
How much work are we talking here?
Man, I work out. I haven't worked out the last week. So I try to work out at least 4 days a week sometimes. But back in the day, it was like every day.
Wow.
Every day. But it's for me, it's like if I don't, I get foggy. I can't go, like 2 weeks might be the longest.
So I keep that brain working.
Yeah, because I need that morning coffee and get on the cardio to get that blood flowing. It's like, it's to me, it's equivalent to me taking drugs. It is my new drug. It's my choice of drug. And it's something that I don't take. It just requires me to go put in work to get up and go. And it's the best feeling ever. I mean, it's like anything. You don't want to go do it. But once you do it, it's like that high lasts the whole day. And it's like, you can't take no drug that lasts like that. I don't care what nobody says. Like, once you really put the work in, it's the most addictive thing that you can ever do in life. You know, my daughter, 17, and I told her when she was younger, you know, we both have overweight genes. I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, you better, it's going, you know, because you don't want to tie it. Yeah, I'm so real with mine. I'm like, hey, you don't want to get that off. I'm telling you. Yeah. So now she's addicted
to exercise.
Yeah, she lost 30 pounds. So she like, I said, I told you. And she's like, yeah, you're right, Dad. Like, I said, it's the bet. Don't ever stop. You know what I'm saying? That's a thing that I started late. I think if I would have started and had the same energy and motivation that I have with health, maybe I probably wouldn't have been, you know, addicted to anything or taking any medicine, you know?
In my heavily meditated book that's coming out, I've got a chapter on the neurochemical reasons you should do something painful every day.
Yeah.
And a ton of people in recovery who I know, they'll come into Upgrade Labs, they'll do cryotherapy. And it's really cold air or water just for a brief period. And monks used to whip themselves on their back. And it wasn't because they hated themselves. They were just saying, if I do something hard, like a real hard workout, like you said, the rest of the day, everything feels easier.
Yeah. I can't explain the feeling that you get. The best way I can tell you is it feels as if I was talking to a person that's addicted, when I tell him he should work out, it's gonna hit different versus there's somebody who tell him to work out who don't do drugs. When I tell him, it's more of a, wait a minute, maybe I should try it. I said, the hard part is going. But once you get through it, trust me, you're gonna be like, this is free. It's a low cost of maintenance. You know what I'm saying? All it takes is you. You know what I'm saying? So once you realize that, I think you will enjoy the benefits that come with it. And I think if me telling somebody of that magnitude, I think they would receive it way different.
Yeah. It's because you've lived it.
Exactly.
Wow. You've worked with Jay-Z, JT, and a bunch of other elite people.
A lot of J's. Huh?
A lot of J's. And each major artist I've ever spoken to has their own ritual for performance. What's the weirdest or most effective ritual you've ever seen with someone?
Man, I stay out the way. I don't know what they... You know what I'm saying? Like, an artist, that's why they call it an artist. Now, the only thing I've been seeing is people that call themselves an artist, they not artists. So I grew up in an era where I worked with real artists, you know, meaning that I just saw them work on their craft. Like, say Justin come in the room and he just, I'm like, why you just keep this? But it's for his vocals. The discipline, that's what I seen. I don't think it's no crazy rituals. I think it's more of crazy discipline.
Where does discipline come from?
I think it's something that's in you. And you have to channel it. You know, I think everybody has it. It's just, do they want it? Do they want to channel that discipline? And you got to want something. You got to want something. You got to have a goal. If you just in life living moments, you don't have no discipline.
I like to ask questions and write stuff that I would have listened to when I was 19, because it would have saved me a lot of money and suffering and time. So let's imagine a 19-year-old comes up to you, overweight, maybe dabbling in drugs, but not really addicted yet, maybe drink a little too much, and they're saying, I don't have any discipline. You look them right in the eyes, what would you tell them?
I think you can't tell nobody anything. I think you have to show interest in the person.
Okay.
I think once you show interest in the person and you really want to be friends, and 9 out of 10 they'll see this sincerity, seeing you being sincere about your friendship, and I think that starts the relationship. You know, once you be around it, you be like, hey, we should go to the gym, or we should do this, let's try this. You know, and really try to find out what his likes are. Harness in on what the likes are as a 19-year-old and be like, and as you get in, y'all share the same thing, common goal. You just infiltrate in that way and start to just feed them, plant this mind, be around a person, you know what I'm saying? And just, you can't come in and say, hey, you should stop this. No, you have to just befriend them and just be like, man, why are you doing that? You know, here and there, don't overburden a person.
Okay, so you're going to get to know them. You're going to kind of sell them on it so you're trusted.
Not really sell them on it, just you live by example. The same way I do with my kids. If I be around, I'll say, yo, because if I see a 19-year-old, I'm going to find, okay, what do you do? Oh, he's good at this. Oh, he might be good at music, right? But I see him doing this. So if he's around me doing music, if I don't bring no alcohol, and I know he got alcohol problem, he's not going to order no alcohol.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or and if he do, he'd be like, oh, man, can I get it? It's just, and I'm like, you go ahead, but I don't, you know, if you want to, you don't have to because you already had a good time, but you know, whatever. So if he does, it's like a person start to wean stuff off because of influence. You know, I think you have to show a person your walk.
By living it.
You can't talk it. You got to show it.
Okay.
And I think for me, even I learned that in my household as a father, just, I could tell you, but I got to show it. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you, hey, don't do this, and I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be a hypocrite. So I try to show it more than talk about it.
Got time for one more question?
Yeah.
Let's talk about sleep. Sleep apnea. What have you experienced? What works for your sleep? I was a horrible sleeper, and I'm actually real good now. But what worked for you?
Man, losing that weight. That's what worked for me. I was going to keep it. I used to sleep with that CPAP thing. I couldn't breathe. Like, you know, like he was dying and stuff. So, man, I overcame a lot of things, boy. I'm telling you. So, to me, I think just when you start to get your health in check, everything just falls and we take it for granted, right? Mm-hmm. We take all our, so I pay attention to the sleep, skin, nails, you know, everything about our body, our kidney, liver. So stuff that I never thought about. But when I started sleep without the oxygen, the mask thing, I started to, wow, I made a tremendous turnaround.
The weight loss did it.
Yeah, that's where, because, you know, the pressure on you. And don't get me wrong, there's some people who are not overweight and have that. Everybody's condition is different. My condition was too much weight.
I never had apnea that I'm aware of, but I used to snore. And I have an app that records my snoring and tells me how many minutes of snoring. So I don't have to rely on my girlfriend to tell me because it's like, we'll just play it back. So I started taping my mouth when I go to sleep, put a little piece of tape over this, which totally changes that. You ever try taping your mouth for sleep?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, you're going to love this. For real. You get like a tape that doesn't have a lot of adhesive. It's called sleep tape. Just put it right over the middle of your lips. You can still breathe through the side if you need to, but then you breathe all through your nose, brain gets more oxygen, you don't get cavities, and you wake up feeling real refreshed. And that might be a thing to try.
Might be. I might try, but I don't think I snore like that no more. But I think I like the idea of more oxygen to the brain outside of the hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
I found that when I have the tape, if I put it on, I also can put it on in my partner. And then when you're both taped, it's good for the relationship. I think that way.
Could be. Yeah.
Timbaland, thanks for just being vulnerable and for sharing some realities and things like that. Really.
Yeah, I think knowledge has to be shared, not to be stored.
Yeah.
In your hard drive, I think you help a lot of people who, I learned that like when I'm on YouTube, I find little things that I'm like, if I didn't find it, you know, they wouldn't know I was going through it or dealing with it. So I think sometimes information has to be shared, has to be put out there. That's the power of the internet and finding things, because you just never know who you touch it.
And you do it without shame and judgment, which is what's driving addiction anyway. So just being real, it takes courage to do that. I appreciate it.
I mean, because I know both sides of the fence. I know the party side and I know the health side. So it's like I can come into and relate. And even like, you know, people probably be overbearing. Like I wouldn't be overbearing if somebody was taking it in front of me. I was like, man, why don't you try to take half of that? You know what I'm saying? You taking a perk 30, take a perk 10. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna meet you halfway in the middle to help you wean off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta meet a person in the middle. You can't just cold turkey do that. Like, everybody not built like that, and you can die from that. I just had the good Lord's hand on me, but I wouldn't recommend that for everybody to do it. So what I would do is take the steps that I was given and try to pass along to somebody else. And I knew when I was getting off, you know, God didn't tell me to stop. He weaned me, you know what I'm saying? Like, step by step, boom, this little bit, that little bit, until your body adjusts to not just having it.
Wow. Well, I wish you many, many more good years sharing this stuff and sharing your music and your meditation. And I like the direction you're headed.
I like it too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next time on the Human Upgrade Podcast.